into sonic art, touching souls, a brand new start. Rockin' interview, stories shared, chill hangouts, no time spared. From soulful whispers to a roaring sound, music unites on hallowed ground. All things music, a vibrant call for one and all to give their all in this sanctuary where dreams ignite. Music's power burning bright. Rockin' interview, stories shared, chill hangouts, no time spared. From soulful whispers to a roaring sound, music unites on hallowed ground. Glick house of music, a place to be for every heart, wild and free. Music's embrace, forever strong, a symphony of life all night long.
Wow, what's going on, guys? Happy Tuesday. I know you're used to Glick's House of Music. I changed it up a little bit tonight. We're going to the movies, and it's the unofficial, official-ish debut of the new show. We're calling it Glick's Drive-In. I don't know. I might change it. We'll see what happens, but I kind of like it. And the reason I did that is because I got a good friend in the building. We're welcoming him back. We'll get that in just 1 second. As always, if you're not, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, bio.link/nonsensical network. Hit up all them social medias. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. We're out here doing all kinds of things. And lots of new shit happening and coming up right around the corner as we get closer to March. Anywho, some of you guys may remember, some of you guys may not remember a little vampire movie that we watched last year. We had a really good time. We had the director, the writer, a couple of the actors. I have a beef with said director because he killed my girl in the movie. You know, he's delaying the sequel because he doesn't want to have to call me up for that ultimate showdown in the movie. But anyways, you guys, if you don't know who he is, and if you do remember him, we got the one and only Jake Young back in the building, hanging out tonight with me. What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Sorry, I haven't forgotten. I still
No, you haven't. You know, I'd actually forgotten. And then he's like, "Nah, hold up." And he's like, "We're doing this." So Glick has officially, on his first night, everyone, bound me to making a sequel to Daylight to Dark. So there we go.
Yeah, I have. I want the showdown. You're going to see just a small cameo role, but I'm going to get my licks in on Jonah Helsing. Now, he's probably going to kill me because he's the director and the star of the movie, but I'm going to get at least one or two.
I don't know. It might go the other way around. You might kill me. I don't know.
Yeah.
You might kill me if the movies don't do it first.
You're right. Man, you are a busy guy, dude. You're everywhere.
Bro.
You're at the cons. You got movies. You're working on stuff while you're finishing stuff. Yeah. You ever gonna slow down?
You know, that's a good question, man. No. Nah. Should I? Probably. Am I going to? Nah. I mean, you only live once. What the hell?
I keep telling everybody I'll rest when I'm gone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. Yeah, I told you before you brought me on here, like all night I've been on the phone with other actors and stuff, for a new project I'm doing. So it's just like it's been an all night thing, and then I get to kick back and kind of relax on here. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so man. Unwind, hanging out with this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll just So, like I said earlier, for those of you guys who don't remember, I actually met Jake through a mutual friend of ours, Roland Jouet, and we had them come on, and we did something that was new to me. I don't know if you guys had that chance to, but we did a live watch party for Jake and Roland's movie Daylight to Dark, and then I got to hang out with Jake individually, and had a really good time. And I become a fan of the movies. Jake has a very unique style of movies, a little bit edgier, a little bit darker, and we had talked back and forth about him coming back on, but I purposely put it off this long because you got a new project that's getting ready to come out soon, or is it out yet?
No. So we are getting ready to drop. This new project comes out in April, which is funny because about this time last year, I was on Glick's show, and we were watching Daylight to Dark. And I think I might have mentioned the project, and it's been almost a year since, almost now, I started this time last year shooting that other project. So we have been it's kind of weird. Everything comes full circle, you know?
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. So last April we did a watch party. Could we potentially do another watch party this April?
Hey man, if you got the time, I'm down. if you got the time, I'm down, brother.
You already know I got the time for you, man. You're part of the family here. You know I got time for you. That'd be really cool. And that's kind of crazy how it did just kind of come full circle with how everything worked out.
That tends to be my luck, I guess, in life. It's like every time I finish a project, I start a new one, and it just works out that it kind of comes out about the same time the last one did. I don't know if it's everything's on a whole, or because I've had some that you shoot them earlier that year and they come out at the end of that same year, but this one's nah, we're gonna take our sweet time. So
yeah. So can we? I mean, it's out on social media, it's everywhere. I'm super excited for this movie. We're allowed to talk about it, right? Or are we not allowed to talk about it? Or do I have to tell people to go to
I will tell you what I can say without giving out too much before I'm beat with sticks for breaking my NDA. So
we're not live on the internet or anything. Nobody's listening. Nobody will hear this.
About as much as we can, man.
Yeah, nobody will hear this. I promise. It's just between you and me.
Absolutely, yeah. What drive-in?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
Nah, man, this new project, it's called Soul's Chapel. This one is, man, I think this is going to be something that is really special. I think a lot of people that watch this is like a whole new type of genre of film, man. I mean, it's still a horror flick. It's still a suspense thriller. It's got some westerny steampunk style elements to it. But man, you talk about night and day from Daylight to Dark, brother. I mean, Daylight to Dark was a fun, campy, killing vampires. Everybody had a good laugh. This one is I don't expect anybody to be laughing in this one. So this is different, man. This is definitely different. I'm kind of jazzed to see where it goes.
The trailer looks, dude. You released the trailer a while back, and I'm like, oh man, this looks good.
Yeah.
Really good. It's right up my alley. You're kind of mixed. You're genre bending, so to say.
Yeah, we are, man, for sure. There's so much packed in here, and it's like I don't even know how to describe it. So I mean, when you're excited about something like that you done, and I'm not even talking about me. It's just the project come together so beautifully, and I swear it's because I had so many really talented people working on there. But man, yeah, I was just pumped whenever I seen this final product, and I put it together, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, what? So I was pumped, and I'm excited for everyone else to finally get to take a peek at it, and give me a good rate on your scorecards.
Right. Not only that, but the soundtrack. Some of the songs I've heard off of it Sounds really good.
Yeah. So, if I had to guess, the one you're referring to is the one and only Roland Jewett. He has come back. Not only, of course, everyone knows he was the screenplay artist for Daylight to Dark. He had wrote the original film, American Vampire, but he done some music. Excuse me. He done some music in the film as well, and he came back for this one through some mutual producers that we have that do most of my music. And I was not expecting this. He just hits me up one day and he's like, dude, he's like, Rollin just recorded this for your film. And he's like, you've got to hear this. And I heard it and I was like, wow. Like he just like busted loose and like arguably what I think is probably one of his best tracks he's ever made. It's dark, it's deep, and man, is like the music factor there. I mean, it was really, really just wow. And it's makes its debut in the movie. So I mean, and it describes it almost to a T. So I think you guys when you get to watch this, I think you're really gonna I think this is gonna be something that a lot of people really enjoy.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And like you said, man, that just a little bit of the song that I heard, obviously, I was stumbling around and looking for music earlier or the other day for a post, and I was like, well, I didn't know about this little trinket. What do we have here?
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, and it's like it fits so perfectly, and it's the same title as the film. So I mean, it was just some things are just kind of meant to be in that
Yeah,
sense. So it was perfect, man. It was perfect.
nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to the movie, and obviously, if possible, and it's something you're down for, 100%. We'll open the doors and we'll do another watch party. I had a really good time with the last one because it's not so much watching the movie as much as getting that little bit of behind the scenes that nobody else is going to really get. You get enough of the movie, it's going to grab your attention, and once you want to go see it, but also you get that little extra, like from yourself being in the movie and it's your project and everything like that. It's like, all right, I definitely got to go support this guy because why not?
Yeah, so I find, man, most of the time when I watch my own films, like over, like kind of like what we done on the last one, we have those watch parties. It's just, dude, it's just me making fun of myself. It's like I remember we done this or this, and it's like I don't know how the hell we got where we were going, but it was good. It was like we ended up there. So, I mean, every time I watch these films, of my own, I was actually, it was funny you mentioned that because I was actually like talking to somebody the other night and they're like, you want to watch your movie again? I was like, no, like I just make fun of myself the whole time. Like I don't watch my own stuff. So it's like because I've seen it so many times. I've picked it apart, and it's just
Yeah,
me laughing at myself like the whole time. So it's a lot of fun to come on and do those watch parties. So yeah, man, I'm definitely down. It's not even a question.
nice. Yeah, we'll by the way, what's going on, Chattersbox? We see you guys over there. How you guys doing? Uh, uh, yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, is it outside of making fun of yourself? Is it hard to watch back? I mean, obviously, you literally live the movie as you're making it, and then you're doing all the behind the scenes with the editing and this, that, and the other thing. But when you get the opportunity to actually sit down and watch the finished project, is it hard for you to do, or do you find yourself outside of making fun of yourself, like, oh man, I wish I would have done this differently or said that differently, like really critiquing yourself, kind of becoming your own worst enemy at that point?
So yeah, so I used to do that more. But with this film in particular, I've had so much time to sit with it. When it come to editing, I kind of got most of what I was looking for in it. So it actually worked out really well because I had, the AD and some of the my MTS Pictures crew. We watched it, like the crew. We screened it for the first time, and so we were able to pick apart and kind of throw away and keep what we didn't actually want to see in there. So which I think sometimes it's better because it's like seeing it through a fresh set of eyes. As a filmmaker, I want to tell you this, and a lot of people think I'm just nuts when I say this, but Rarely ever do I actually remember certain things from acting in the film. Yeah, it's true because
That makes sense because you got so much other stuff you're doing on top of acting that that could make
well, it's and honestly, it's really not that, and that's what a lot of people ask me. I mean, and it kind of is, but it's kind of not. It's just the fact that I don't remember a lot of like what was happening there. I remember like key points, things that stand out because that was like one moment in time. That
yeah.
was one moment in time. And when I've edited this whole film together and put it together, I've seen this movie like the same scene through a different view like 500 times. So it's like I almost remember it seeing myself like through a third person. So it's kind of weird because you're seeing yourself but like not remembering it through your POV. It's really weird. I mean, but I mean, hey, I mean it's part of it though.
Yeah. Well, that's for those of you guys who don't know, you know, and I say this because our audience here has grown since the last time you guys were around. That's the other nice thing about bringing some of you guys back again. We already have a relationship, and it's easy for us to kind of jump in and start talking.
Yeah.
But we've got so many new faces and new people that are watching and stuff like that. Um, Jake's not just behind the camera or in front of the camera. he's very hands on.
Oh, dude, I wear all the hats, man. I
Yeah.
mean, and I think like when you're making film, and you could probably relate, from doing music and a lot of other things.
Mhm.
It's not just about writing the song, but it's about making the music. Same way with like making a film or making a podcast. It's not just about talking to people. It's about putting it together. It's about being there. It's about knowing what questions to ask. And when you're making a movie, I find that being a director, it's different, man. I mean, when you're directing, you're bringing something to life.
Yeah.
You're bringing to life something to life. So I mean, it's just one of those things that as you bring it to life, you're able to control all aspects, whether it's acting in it or whether it's directing it or putting it all together. So yeah, you kind of got to be hands on to a certain extent. And for any of you out there that's listening, that's a creator, listen, keep punching, keep doing what you're doing because like the world needs more originals. The world needs more creators out there for sure. So anybody that's listening that's like thinking about doing that podcast or thinking about doing something, man, do it. Like if I'm ever anybody that can tell you to encourage something, like do it for sure. I'm sure Glick will tell you the same thing.
Oh yeah. I have been known to be told that I'm an asshole because one of my key phrases is don't talk about it, just be about it.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, like listen, the world, everybody talks, man. I
Yeah.
mean, the world doesn't need more talkers. Like sometimes like just doing it like will change your life. Like man, like this I would have never been doing this stuff like regardless of my bloodline or anything of who I'm related to or any of my situations in life. I would have never been doing this had one day when I was a kid not thought, man, that would be really cool to do one day, and then just decided to start playing with the camera and start making this stuff happen. If I hadn't started bringing over my freaking next door neighbors for in exchange for pizza to like make this movie with me and like just let me film them on a camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. It's it's all about, just being creative and just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, and here's the other thing. You can't be afraid of failure. We're all going to fail and fall on our faces. We're not going to do everything perfect right off the rip. Man, I can go back 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even a year ago, a year and some change ago, when I first started doing this interview show and go, oh my God, what was I doing?
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Why do these people agree to come on my show? Now I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I've gotten a lot better. But yeah, you can't be afraid of failure. You just got to do it. If you fail, oh well, try again.
Yeah, man. If you ain't failing or you ain't doing something to make somebody upset or doing something that is not perfect, you're probably doing it wrong. Like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's 100%. Like, cause if you're not doing something that's not perfect, you're not doing it right, because nothing's ever going to go perfect. And if it is, I hate you, get off the show, because I don't know anybody that does that.
Yeah. Nobody cares. I don't want to hear how perfect you are.
Exactly. Let me enjoy my failures.
Yeah. Is Jake at the doctor's office?
No, so I'm actually, yo, bro. So I'm actually in my basement right now. Like I'm just like chilling down here. I had a backdrop I was gonna set up, and I was gonna like hang out, but yeah, like these lights, like who has lights in their house like this? He's like, is he just like I was probably sitting in the waiting room waiting for his exam or something, like doing Glick's interview.
Yeah. He's a busy guy, right? He sneaks us in when he can sneak us in.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like I'm just waiting here. I was gonna make sure you guys were live whenever they check me for yeah, whatever is
Whatever.
probably yeah,
Surprise! We're going to the doctor with Jake. You know,
yeah,
it's a project
exactly.
we're working
It's like yeah, I'm like, dude, I got this growth, man. It's like, but no, no, I'm at home. I'm in my basement. But thank you for checking up on me, brother. Appreciate it.
on. Is the chat is
Dude,
also a little. They get rambunctious. I love the chat, man. They're great.
let's see. Is the serial killer in the background? Is the serial killer in the background? No, he's right here on the foreground. Oh shit. No, I love reading the comments, man. They're so much fun. I love when people interact with these things, and
Mhm.
everybody can have a good time. It's a lot more fun, It's like it's really boring when it's like, just talking, me and you, we kind of vibe, but then when you get other people in on it, it's just like, well, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, man. Any comments you guys got, throw them. I'll hammer away at them, bro.
Yep, that's why we do the live shows, man. I love the live
Absolutely,
chat
man.
talks. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes we have to keep an eye on them. Sometimes we get some stragglers that'll wander in from Lord knows where and say some of the most crazy stuff. But outside of that, we keep
Yeah.
an eye on them. They're
Yeah,
pretty good.
somebody's gonna click on that and be like, "Who the hell is this guy?" It says, "Jake, you may not read our comments. We may become the subject of your next film, dude. Listen, listen. Truth is stranger than fictions.
Yeah.
Truth is stranger than most fictions you will read in life. And if you come up with something crazy, then I am like, listen, I'm all for it. You sign a release, brother. I'll make a movie about it. I'm down for it." Yeah, life is a box of chocolates. Mine's just been a box of rocks, and you should not eat those. So,
Yeah, right. I feel the same way. Yeah, there's one of our stragglers. He's a stray that we kept years ago.
yeah, yeah, man, for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, I'm super excited to be back. I'm super excited to tell you more about Soul's Chapel.
Yeah, so
Um,
so Soul's Chapel, if correct me if I'm wrong, but that's loosely based on some reality, little urban legends, and you're
yeah, so yeah, that's the craziest part about all this whole shit. It's like what in the world? But yeah, so Soul's Chapel is a real place, and it's not too far from where I live. It's a place in Kentucky, and you can look this up. Like if you guys are ever just want to look up some background about it, it's called Soul's Chapel, but it's spelled different. Like the real place, it's spelled Souls, like Soules Chapel, and it was a real place. And according to the folklore, there was a reverend who was there, and he conducted like weird satanic, like I don't even know if they're satanic, but he done like weird rituals, and like they would find like dead like animals and stuff like that in this church. And then like there's just like it got even up to the point to where like there were people going missing, and then they find the pastor just like dead, like one day hanging he hung himself in the church. And then like years later, like it become this big urban legend and folklore. And somebody eventually, they actually, like, you can still go to where the grounds and the graveyards were, but somebody actually burned the place to the ground. and you know, they always said that it was haunted, and that was the only way they could like cleanse the land. So it was like nuts. Souls Chapel in Somerset, been there, sweet man. Yeah, so this movie is actually like based loosely on it's loosely based on that place, Souls Chapel, and we kind of delve into some of the lore of that, and delve into some of the legends that surrounded that whole thing.
Yeah, that just adds to the for me. And as you were telling, and I hadn't told my girlfriend that, but you know, as you're talking about that, I see her eyes perk up because her and I are actually getting ready to start a show where we're going to talk about um, paranormal, cryptids, supernatural, urban legends, and her and Modog in the chat have decided that this spring summer we're going to Helltown, Ohio, which kind of has that same
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know vibe stories to it. And now I feel like there's a trip to Kentucky in my future this spring or summer.
Dude, listen, there are so many like places in Kentucky, but this one in particular is it's like one of the most pastor is said to be a descent of, yeah. So listen, like you see these in the comments,
Yeah,
this is not like this is something that like people know about. So this film is loosely based on that. So did you film it there? If you did you have any experience? So all right, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I did not film it there, because number one, the place is like burned to the ground, so we couldn't use the interior. But even on the grounds, I've heard so many stories about this place that I'm like kind of cautious. And like some of the crew members that actually mentioned this about like, hey, maybe we should go out there and do a video, and they were like, no, we're not going. It's like, no, you're gonna go. You're gonna take your cell phone. You're gonna go by yourself. So I was like, okay, we're not gonna film it there, but we are looking at doing like a little promo video with some people that have been out there,
nice.
and just kind of like, you know, get their experiences. But if you ever get the chance to go, there's so much lore and so much stuff that talks about the paranormal activity that still goes on there, like the readings and all this just different stuff that like still exists to this day. So if you're into that sort of thing, you should definitely go check it out.
Yeah, Robert. Yeah, we'll have to swing by and grab you, and you can be our tour guide.
Me, I don't know if I'd be a very good one. Listen, at best, I'm gonna be like, look, I just made this movie. Like, I'm no help whatsoever. So, and that's actually another
I'm
funny
too scared to
thing.
go
So,
there.
yeah, it's a little scary, man.
I'll wait in the
But
car, guys. I'll film
yeah,
from the
so
car. Good. Your new movie could be a found footage movie when we go to Souls Chapel.
yeah, hey, it worked for Blair Witch, man.
Yeah. One director and four idiots go to Soul Channel. Only the director came home. This is his footage.
Yeah, his name was Glick. Glick was the director. I was one of the idiots. But listen, 100%, man. If you guys ever get the chance to go there, you should totally check it out. And so like I actually had people ask me, they said, is because I faced a lot of like just weird things while we were filming this. They're like, do you think this movie has like the Souls Chapel curse? And I was like, what the hell is that? So apparently that's a thing. And while we were filming the very last day, well, okay, hang on. I'm gonna go back to the first day. So the first day, right before we get ready to shoot the film, we were gonna shoot at this location we had rented out, and you know we were gonna like decorate the set and everything. The day before we start shooting, no, we had like 2 days. 2 days before we started shooting, they call us and tell us, "Hey, we had something happen, and you can't use our location." I'm like, what? And I've got like actors they're coming, they're headed, they're some of them are like, and they're coming from all over, so they're headed this way. I've got like all this different stuff, and I've got to make sure that I got to make sure that you know everybody's where they got to go. I got to get all this stuff set up, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So, funnily enough, the AD that was working on this with me, he was like, "Why don't we just build our own?" I'm like, "What? How are we gonna build? Hang on, whoa, whoa! How are we gonna build this old mid-century church like in like 2 days?" And so, I kid you not, man. And you could probably see this watching in the trailer. But that whole movie, we built a set inside of my garage in 15 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The whole thing, when you're watching the film, and I've showed this to like anybody that's seen the early screening or came to the premiere was asking me, where did you film that? They're like, that was like that looked like the real place. I was like, we built that in a garage. We literally we made the pews out of cabinets and like shelves, and we just put like some stuff on the floors and decorated some stuff up. And the AD, he's like, man, I got all this at my house, we'll just like throw it all together. And in 15 hours we shot in 2 rooms. One was an upstairs because I had a little addition apartment on the top of a garage, and we set up pallet boards so it looks like we're in a barn like the whole time. And so that's what another thing that I tell people is like, never let your budget limit your creativity,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
100%, I still looking back, I don't know how we built that and made it look like we did in the amount of time that we did. I'm still just like I'm we're in a simulation. Like that wasn't real. So I mean, that's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, but it happened, and it was super cool. It was super cool the way it turned out. But the last day of filming goes back to the whole Souls Chapel curse. The last day, we got the worst freak storm that Kentucky had seen in like so many years, because it snowed up to a foot, and the next day all the snow, it got hot, all the snow melted, and then it rained and flooded right after the snow. And it flooded up to like, I think there was like, people were recording like record numbers of like 8 to 14 inches of water. Like
Wow.
whole buildings were underwater. I kid you not. The set flooded on the final day, and when we were wrapping the film, we were standing in that garage in there, like the water was up to our ankles.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. And like luckily nothing got damaged, but it flooded in. I mean,
Yeah.
we were okay that nothing got like permanently damaged. But the craziest thing was like it was coming up from the floors and through the walls, and everybody was like, that was like, so was that the Souls Chapel curse? Was that not? I don't know, but I know that that happened, and
Yeah,
that was crazy.
that's wild. I didn't you guys? Me, if my memory serves me correct, didn't you guys have something like that, or have some crazy thing happen when you guys were filming Daylight to Dark as well?
Uh,
Or maybe
dude,
that was background noise, like a train, or there was an accident or something that happened, like not very far from where you guys were filming, that kind of disrupted everything.
honestly, on Daylight to Dark, I think everything that could have went wrong went wrong. I think I just got lucky as hell with that.
Maybe it's not the Souls Chapel curse. Maybe you're cursed.
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's
Maybe,
maybe it's
yeah,
me. Maybe I'm the problem.
yeah. Maybe you're the problem. But you know,
Yeah.
it adds to the movies if you can go, man. We were filming this, and this crazy shit kept happening. You know,
Yeah, yeah, 100%, man. 100%. And like I said, I think everybody that watches this film is now that I said it, everybody's going to be looking for it. But like I think that like, if you just watch the film and don't think about that, I think
yeah,
you're going to be like really shocked whenever you find out, what I tell you. This film was different, and it gave me an opportunity to explore a lot of different things that I hadn't yet done before. And there's parts of this that we filmed at an old abandoned western town.
nice.
So it used to actually be an amusement park, and now it's on like it's right next to a public park, like it's like or a national park, and like you can actually go and hike the waterfalls. But if you like go off the trail just a little bit and you just keep going, you get to this really weird place, and it's like just this random in the middle of nowhere, just this random ass western town. It's like an old west town, just like sitting dead in the middle of nowhere, and you're like, this is weird. This is a ghost town. So I took advantage of it and we put it in the movie. So I mean, and it worked pretty cool. So I
Yeah,
mean, like, were there weird things that happened on this movie? Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things. I'm kind of glad it happened because it was pretty cool.
well, yeah, and like we said, you use that when you go to these screenings or you go, wherever, and you're promoting the movie. Hey, let me add a little lore of my own, a little mystique of my own about Souls Chapel. We weren't even actually there, but
Yeah.
still reached out to us and let us feel its spirit. Made its presence known during the filming of this movie.
So
So
we did offer one of our perks, I don't know if a lot of you that are listening, I don't know if you know how we actually make movies, because I'm an indie film. I don't, I stepped away from the big Hollywood scenes years ago, started doing my own indie flicks. But the way that we make films is by crowdsourcing. We get a lot of our money from donations, but what we always do is I give people like stuff in return to do with the movie. Like, for instance, in this last one, in Souls Chapel, you could pay to like put your face, like if you gave us like so much, as part of the crowdfunder to help us get the film made, like you got all kinds of cool shit in return. So there was this one you could put your like dead head in a jar. And like, so there's a couple of those that are in there and they look like insanely real. And like, there was just like, put your face on a liquor label. And, I like to do things like that.
yeah,
People, if you're cool enough, you want to support me, I want to do something that's really cool that you can look back one day and be like, hey, check this out.
yeah,
So I,
right.
I think that's really cool to be able to, it lets me involve people, kind of in what I do. And, it helps me in the process too. And, helps us, make sure our people are taken care of and getting fed. But, it's like, it's really cool. Like, because you can be watching something and be like, hey, that's my face on that bottle or something. So
Yeah, right. Hey, that's
yeah,
my head in that jar.
yeah, that's my head, bro.
I'm famous. If you
I
slow the
mean,
movie down and pause,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
yeah, that's how Jake's gonna get me in the Daylight to Dark sequel. He's gonna just put my head in the jar and be like, "See, you were in the movie."
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be my good luck charm, and just set it in the hearse while I'm driving. I got Glick in the head with the jar. Make my day, punk. That's- yeah, yeah.
oh, oh, love it. I see you guys. Modog, he's a photographer, and he
All
had
right,
a
cool, man.
he had a nerd question for you there in the chat.
Okay, so as a photographer, what gear do you use to shoot your movies with? Nikon, Sony, Canon, etc. And what's your favorite lens to shoot with? Oh, yes. Nerd time. So listen, um, what I shot this whole movie on, I shot this thing on I shot it on a Sony camcorder. Everybody's asking me like, what kind of lenses did you use? Man, I use these camcorders from like 2017. I use I use the AX FDR 700. It's a camcorder, but man, it will shoot in cinema mode, does all these cool colors, and then the rest is just, I get lucky with editing and color grading, and I got people like Rollin and a few others that give me some cool music, and the rest is just kind of comes together. But yeah, man, that's what I do is, I really tried to focus on the lighting on this, and then I use the Sony FDR AX 700. It's a camcorder. Captures great image though. Really, really good quality image that you can go back and kind of play with later on.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I was expecting like I don't know any of the lingo. I'm just going to throw shit at the wall. I have
Yeah.
the NR31-A Sony high def.
Well, see, the crazy thing about this camera don't even have an interchangeable lens.
Really?
Yeah, it's one lens. You can zoom in and it does really cool stuff, and you can lower like aperture and stuff. But this doesn't even have an interchangeable lens.
Oh,
Can be
wow.
good and bad. And then I'm going to tell you another thing I done. So on this film, this crafted me as a filmmaker to a new height and something I never thought I would do. And I used to laugh at people for doing this, and now I'm the one doing it. So
Yeah.
I can't laugh at them no more. But I shot like a good 20% of this film. We filmed it on an iPhone.
Wow. Everybody seems to be using iPhone. I mean, they say in the commercials, you can Hollywood films shot on the iPhone.
Well, okay, so you got to be careful with that because some of them you can tell, but like if you're careful with what you're doing, like honestly, some of these scenes, I guarantee you, we filmed on an iPhone and some of them on a camcorder, you're not going to be able to tell them apart.
Hmm. Wow.
He just made 2017 feel like it was back in the day. Listen, it was, and now we're all old. Okay, so like my favorite is whenever like I'm talking to like my nieces or somebody, and they're all like, "Yeah, do you remember that really old thing? It happened before I was born." Blah blah blah, and I'm like, what are you talking about? You're like, oh, the thing with the plane and the towers. I was like, 9/11. Oh my God. What do you mean that was before you were born? I'm like ancient now. I was like all these memories. I was like, what do you not remember? I was like, I'm old now. Like different things. That was probably a terrible analogy to use, but
Yeah,
like,
how do you not remember? Yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean that my kids do the same shit to me. They make fun of me because I was born in the late 1900s.
yeah, right. Yeah. Same thing. They're like, you were born in like a whole different century. I'm like, yeah, I was. I was born in a whole different century, and you know what? It shows too. So,
Deal with
but
it.
yeah, but they do, man. They're it's crazy, and yeah. So yeah, 2017 was a long time ago. Was it? Probably not. Sometimes it feels that way.
It just feels that way.
Yeah, it just feels that way. It feels
And
that way when I wake up in the morning and my bones kind of crack. It feels that way.
I, as we're sitting here having this conversation, before the show tonight, I'm sitting out on my recliner with the full body like massager thing, and
Yeah.
I really have a heating pad on my back because just walking into the grocery store for whatever reason, I could feel my back starting to seize up, and I'm like, all right, here we
Wasn't
go.
it so much fun when we used to come on these podcasts and like you'd secretly have like a beer hidden in a cup and you were like, yeah, now you're like fiber, man. Like I'm drinking like creatine and stuff to try to
You
stay healthy.
I got a glass of water over here
Yeah,
because
water and cranberry juice. Like tell me I'm old without telling me I'm old.
my pregame was Bayer back and body and a glass of water.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And you know what? I would take that any day now over taking any of that other stuff back when I was younger. Like when you were like, let's have a drink or something. And now I'm like, oh, not past 8 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta get up at 5 in the morning. Yeah,
Right? Yeah. It's like even if I don't, man, it's like I can't do that. It's too hard
yeah.
on me.
You couldn't have asked me earlier.
Yeah. So that was another thing on Soul's Chapel that they were kind of laughing at me about was there's a couple like really intense scenes in this, and one scene in particular, me and Jeremy Boggs, we kind of have this altercation, and like it's in one of the trailers, but like he just like slams me, and you see it clear as day on the whenever we're shooting. He just like grabs me and slams me, which it was in the script, it was all like it was stunted, it was supposed to happen. But like whenever we done that, and then I called cut, I was like cut, and everybody's like, okay, let's roll on to the next scene, let's set it up, and they're looking around, they're like, what are you still doing in the floor? I was like, I'm trying to get up. I'm like,
I'm trying to.
yeah, I'm trying to get up, man. And I was like I remember I was telling my wife after that, I was like, next day after shooting, I was like, man, I am sore from rolling around on that floor. And she was like, really? And I was like, this is not good, man.
About time to get a stunt double, man.
Listen, I've considered it.
we're not all Tom Cruise who can be like 70 and still doing his own stunts.
Listen, he's got enough money to make sure he doesn't hurt doing his own stunts. Me, I'm making indie films. Like we're out here like rattling a tin can. We're out here rattling a tin can. Like this is for your entertainment, man. It's for your entertainment. But hey, I'm pretty fortunate though. I can't complain, and I'm hoping I get the same genes that Clint got, and I can make it to like 94. So
Yeah, right.
that's what I'm
For,
hoping.
for those of you guys who don't know, again, you're new to this. If you couldn't tell, I was telling my girlfriend before I started the show, I was like, if I didn't know any better, I would go, I bet this guy's related to Clint Eastwood. Just some of the facial expression, the picture that I used for the background, you got that squinting, and you got it going on tonight. And she's like, "What?" I said, he's related to Clint Eastwood. So yeah,
Yeah.
Jake is a long lost, distant relative of.
Yeah, we're like way like fifth or something cousins like that. But yeah, so it works. So I'm hoping, we got a lot of the same, features. So I'm hoping I get those good age genes where
Right.
I got to give it to him. He's like 94 and he's still like making films. So I hope that's what I'm doing at 94. So yeah.
Everybody's old in the chat, especially Mo Dog.
Did somebody just say 2002?
Yeah, my
You got
girlfriend.
is that like birth year?
No, graduated.
Okay. I was gonna be like, okay, you cannot say you were born like here and then be like, yeah, like I was born here. I'm like, what are you doing?
Look at me. You think at 45, almost 45 years old, I could get lucky enough to get a 23-year-old? Come on, man.
Bro, you're hosting a drive-in show. I
Let
mean,
me
you
rephrase
should be
that.
doing what you want.
Unfortunate enough, because what the hell am I going to talk to a 23-year-old about?
You can tell them about things in the past. You can tell them about VHS tapes.
Tell them about the birth of the internet.
The birth of the internet. Listen, we used to have these plastic boxes with this film inside, and if you
Yeah,
didn't press that button and turn it around, they charged you extra.
yeah, exactly.
And they're like, can I just stream it now? It's like your Wi-Fi is down. They're like, what? Do you have like a? They're like, do you have a range extender? I was like, no, I got a regular couch. Like I don't know what that is. I was like, I don't. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. Yeah, it's when I was a kid, I'm telling you, I had a bicycle and like, yeah, kids now they got like iPads and cell phones and they can log on to their favorite game and turn on their Xbox or get on YouTube and find out like what kind of cycles and what's trending or TikTok and that's like, what did you do when you were a kid? Like, man, I had a stick. I was like, I had a,
And
I
some
had a
rock.
yeah, I had a stick and a rock, and I was probably throwing at somebody.
Yeah.
So,
I had
it
to
was
play
like,
with my friends in person.
yeah. But honestly, I gotta really give some credit to that generation of kind of how and honestly, I never thought I would be at this point saying that was like my generation because now I'm the old guy. Like I have become what I used to laugh at, but you kind of got to give some credit because that's where a lot of that creativity first blossoms when you're a kid. And I tell everybody like making films is I was just a kid that never really grew up because honestly that's all we do is we pretend we're bringing something to life. So as you're bringing something to life like that, you really got to give credit to the way that you grew up whenever there wasn't all this stuff and your imagination flourished, and it kind of brings it, catches up to you when you're an adult too. So I definitely gotta say I'm pretty grateful for having that as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm
I
grateful
gotta.
for my sticks.
Yeah, right. I'm
Grateful
grateful.
for my sticks. Not so grateful for the ice packs and stuff and the heating
Yeah,
pads, but we are grateful for the sticks and the bruises that we had.
grateful for being locked out of the house until the street lights came on and only having a garden hose to.
Garden hose to drink from. Yeah, that's it.
And if we
Garden
were
hose.
lucky, maybe mom would put some snacks out on the porch or something like that.
Like on a rare occasion, if you were it had to been like if mom was like just in a good mood, you got a popsicle or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that was like just yeah, that was a maybe.
I grew up in the country. There's plenty of stuff out there to eat. Go find something.
Yeah, it's like here, go play in the woods till like 10 o'clock at night. We
Yeah.
literally it's like ding ding ding. You know where your kids are? It's like 9 p.m. Like who the hell don't know where their kids are at? It's like,
I'm pretty sure there was a lot of times my parents had no idea where I was, but
Oh, 100%. And like looking back now, I'm like, how am I alive? You know, it's like how am I like not dead or like something wrong with me? But that's up for debate. But you know,
yeah, hey, we're all a little off. Maybe we can blame our
yeah,
childhood. Maybe. No, I know for a fact that there was times where growing up we would go down in the summertime, and then we had our little spot down in the creek where we would go camping at, and we would leave and might not come home for a day or two, and then we'd come
dude.
home and our parents just they had no idea.
Yeah, 100%, man. I remember that. I remember like walking through the creeks and like looking back now, it's like there was probably so much like just really bad stuff in that water. Like
Yeah,
just alone. Like there was like snakes and fish and like stuff like not to mention like whatever kind of chemicals might have been in it or like whatever. It's like how are you like I don't know how we're alive, but you know, it's clearly it's worked for us. So I'm game.
not not to mention, we didn't have that glorious thing, the internet, so we didn't know about every creep, monster, and weirdo that was in our neighborhood or neighborhoods. We were just left to our own devices. You'll be fine.
Yeah, his name was Frank, and he probably lived in the house next door. And he would like peek out the windows, like if you catch him watching you, and that was it, man. Yeah, the internet didn't exist. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's wild to look back on it. Like you said, it's a wonder that Gen X is still alive and kicking, or even
yeah, it
before
kind of is, bro.
even before our generations. Like, really are some resilient sons of bitches.
Yeah, like they just don't die, man.
Jake is from, no big secret, Kentucky, right? You still in Kentucky, or have you wandered
Yeah,
off?
yeah. I currently live in Kentucky. I live here in Kentucky in the Bluegrass State. You know, we're famous for some horses, bourbon, and where I'm at is the lake. We got the ninth largest man-made lake in the United States. So
What is that, Cumberland? What
yeah,
is it?
yeah, Cumberland. Yeah, yeah,
Been out there a few times in my younger days, back when I didn't mind staying up into the wee hours of the morning, and then
yeah, yeah, yeah. That back when that was fun. So you know, I kind of grew up down there, you know, on the lake and by the water and stuff. So you know, it was always, you know, just a big time. You know, it was always a lot of fun, you know, growing up, but not so much anymore. But you know, it is what it is. But
no,
man, I'm telling you, it's like you said, it's a wonder that like we're still kind of like here.
we got stories though, and the great thing about it was, and I tease my kids all the time, especially my oldest one, and I can't believe that I'm saying this. My oldest one's going to be 21 in a couple months. How do I have a 21-year-old?
Yeah.
But she goes and hangs out with her friends, and all their degenerate behavior they just put on social media. And I try telling her, I'm like, that's called evidence. You know,
Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
you get caught. Like,
Yeah. Like it's like, what are you doing? I'm arguing with somebody. Like, no, you're not. You're not arguing with somebody. You're typing. What are you doing?
yeah, I've had conversations with her about going to a party, and it's like, and then she tries to lie to me, and I pull up her Snap story, and I'm like, you can't lie. It's
You
literally
can't lie
right
to
here.
me. You
I
you
know where you
told
were,
on
and I know.
yourself.
Yeah.
You told on yourself.
Yeah.
Told on yourself. But yeah, man, it's crazy. And you know, like I'm just thinking, it's like how I ever got to be, you know, making movies. It was just crazy. Oh, let's see. Skinny dipping in Lake Cumberland. Drunk as hell, crab gabbed. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's Lake Cumberland, man. But yeah, so I'm telling you, if any of you guys ever get the chance, and you are like down in a way of Kentucky, you should totally check out Souls Chapel, and for sure, you should definitely check out the film when it comes out. For sure. I mean, I'm so excited for everyone to see this. I mean, this film is just like it's so different. You know, it's really different from anything I've done. It's different from like the I've done some of the more in depth cryptid films. The last one, you know, with Daylight to Dark, it was a comedy. I mean, it was just a fun flick. You know, I think everybody liked it, but this one was like this one is like it's got a lot of layers to it, and it's something that you're gonna like. And if you like, not only if you kind of like the vibe of like westerny stuff, and then you like real lore, and then you like a little bit of like everybody likes a little tiny dash of sci-fi in there too. Sometimes, I mean, I think this is a film you'll like, even if you're just looking at it for like the spine tingle aspect of it. I think I think you're really gonna enjoy it.
I don't think I've still quite recovered from, and we talked about this last time, the Dark Room. I still don't think I've quite recovered from that movie.
Yeah, so that movie was, man, that's been a minute ago now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it. It's like I watched that not too long ago, and I was watching it and I was like, man, I wish I still looked like that. Like I was like slimmer in my chin. Like now I'm starting to get like a double chin, and like I was like, man, like I had like some chiseled features, and I was like, that's the only thing. And everybody was what would you take away from this movie? And I'm like, I just wish I still looked that way. Yeah, that's like, I'm like, man, that was a minute ago. I've been through a lot since then. Okay.
But, well, that's one of those joys of getting older, there, Jake.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's just that's one of the joys of it. But you get to watch that stuff, and it's like, hey, I remember when I done that. So,
Yeah, right?
but yeah, man, the Dark Room, that flick was mad. Like it was different. This is not so much like the Dark Room, but it's still going to have that kind of suspense to it. I watched the Dark Room now, and I kind of can see things that I've watched it not too long ago for someone who hadn't seen it and watched it with me, and I picked up on those things like what you were talking about earlier, where you become your own worst critic and you start pulling stuff apart, and you're like, I wish I would have done that differently, or I wish I would have done that differently, but you know it's it's you live and you learn, man.
Well, and that's the thing, like I told you, I look back on some of the stuff I've done, and I go, God, I can't believe I'm still doing this, and people are still
Right.
agreeing. But then I look at some of the stuff more recently, and it's like, I have gotten a little bit better. I kind of know what I'm
Right.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where,
100%.
where before
100%.
I was just kind of, fumble fucking around trying to figure it out, and like, what am I doing here?
Yeah. So, in Soul's Chapel, what was it? What was the last time when we done the watch party? I think it was we or no shit. I said Soul's Chapel. Daylight to Dark. When we done the watch party, um, you said it was because of Audrey, like because remember I shot her and
Yeah.
she was the vampire, and you're like, yeah, you're like, I'm coming back to avenge her. So Audrey actually she has a much larger role in Soul's Chapel. She
Oh,
actually plays in this one again. Yeah, she returned. I liked dealing with her so much, and Daylight to Dark, I thought she was really good. So she actually plays one of the lead roles in Soul's Chapel. And man, I'm telling you, I had like the best cast on this. I had like some of the best performers, and like some of this stuff. I was actually talking to another gentleman earlier today, which is crazy, and he was in Soul's Chapel, and he's going to do like a small part in this new film I'm doing. He's and if you can't tell, sometimes I like to reuse a few people in like small cameos if they've been in stuff. So
yeah.
um, I talked with him, and it was insane because some of these people pulling off some of these roles, man. I had the cast was just crazy, like stuff that you weren't expecting, like they just pull it out, and like yeah, I was actually like kind of getting scared watching that shit, and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah. So but yeah, man, they done a killer job. And if you guys haven't seen it, I got the trailers. I think the trailers posted on my socials. If
Mhm.
you want to go check it out, they're up on my YouTube channel and stuff. Well, it's up on our films stuff that we post all of our stuff on YouTube. It's MTS Pictures. You can go to check out mtspicturesnews.com. That's where we post all of our newest films and stuff that I'm going to be working on. But yeah, check out the trailer for sure. I think it's one that it'll really catch your attention. Um, So I don't know if I told you, Glick, but we had the premiere of the film. That's actually that picture in the background right there
Mhm.
with me that you put on the on the banner for the drive-in. That's actually from the premiere of Soul's Chapel.
Oh, nice.
So we premiered it for the first time ever back in October, and it was at the Black Mountain Film Festival, and I kid you not, man. I was so nervous because I was waiting on all these reactions, and I got to get up, give the speech, introduce the film, which is kind of cool because where they had that festival at was at this old theater that had been shut down for years and years. And I remember when I was a kid, I remember walking up and down the streets, and I was like, one day I'd like to have a movie played there. All these years later, I get to come back to that same place, and now it's a fully up and running theater. So they hosted it there inside the lobby, and then into the screening area, and they had a bunch of other stuff. But when we were watching this, I had heard some whispers behind, and afterwards, I went up and I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Dude, there were people getting up and leaving because they said that they were getting too freaked out by this, like by this
Oh,
film." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "No." They're like, "Yeah." There's some lady got up, said, "I can't do all this," and she got up and left, bro. So I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I should be like, yes, or I should be like, but you know what? It was still cool. So either way, I'll take it.
yeah. I mean, they've said that about a bunch of different movies and stuff. And I was going to ask you with the premiere and everything. How did it go over? Obviously, you had some people that got so scared they had to leave the room. But overall, what was the vibe like? Did you get a good response
Uh,
or?
Dude, yeah, 100%. Everyone that saw it for that first screening, like, they loved it. Like afterwards, they were coming up to me and they're like, "Bro, actually, it was kind of crazy because I made some really good contacts while I was there. With people that had made films. They're like, how did you make that?" They're like, where did you shoot that? In my garage. And it's like, it's like it's like this looks like a $10 million production. I was like, not even close. So I mean, it was good, man. We had a lot of good response, and mostly the best part was, I got to see it. The cast got to come and walk the red carpet and get their picture taken, and they were all just like it, I get a lot of enjoyment getting out of reactions. So I'm sitting there, watching the movie, and I've seen it a million times because I cut it together.
Yeah.
This is the first time the cast has seen this since we filmed it.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm sitting there watching them, and they're just like in awe and like just like freaking out like this, I'm like tapping them on the shoulder, and I get so much enjoyment out of like watching their reactions to it, and it's like that lets me know I done good, because this is like seeing their faces and just how like taken they were by it. I was like, yeah, I was like that's a huge feeling of accomplishment, to watch other people get, enjoyment. So I definitely I think we had a good response.
That's awesome. That's always nice when you get positive feedback from something that you work on, especially something you put so much time and energy and whatnot into, and you get that positive feedback.
Absolutely, man. It's just one of those things. It's like some things sometimes they're just meant to work, and I think that was one of them. So, but yeah, I mean, but that's what I tell everybody. I couldn't have done it without the cast and the crew. I mean, because man, I had a hell of a cast and crew. I mean, there's no way that I could have even, man. There ain't no way I could have done that without them. Like at best, it would have been like setting my phone up on the tripod and stand I had to walk back and get in and out of shot. Yeah, man, but it turned out killer. So I'm excited to do a watch party on here, man. Like excited to check it out.
I'm excited too. So real quick before we go, uh, what kind of host do you think I am, Mo Dog? You don't think I come prepared? You don't think I don't have this on the back burner, buddy? I'm pretty sure it's okay, but I always ask anyways. I do have the trailer downloaded. Before we get into talking more about it, is it cool if I go ahead and throw it up here and play it for
Hell
everybody?
yeah, man. That's not even a question. Let's go.
Listen, I figured I knew the answer, so here you guys go.
What do people say about this place? What have you heard?
You saw one of them, didn't you? On the way in. Night is coming. Something else is coming.
There's something really wrong with this place. I'm hearing howling and crying.
This place isn't safe.
It's coming, and you're all going to die.
Tick-tock, tick-tock. Bury your sins under a rock.
Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I've probably watched that trailer way more times than I should. But
You know, I don't even know if I mentioned this. Like, I honestly can't remember, but it's also probably because, you know, like my brain's kind of mushy, you know, but
yeah.
that at the voice at the end there, that's actually Brian Bremer from Pumpkinhead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in the film. I don't even know if I told you guys that. Yeah, Brian Bremer from Pumpkinhead. Yeah, he's in this. He's a thing that I can't exactly tell you until you watch the movie. But yeah, Brian Bremer, yeah, 100% from Pumpkinhead. And he was in. I think he done like a few things in like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then Dead Birds and things like that. But yeah, he was the younger brother in that classic Pumpkinhead, man. And I remember watching that growing up, and then, you know, getting to chat with him and talk to him. I was like, man, this is so cool.
Right, and that's the cool. I grew up, and man, it's funny that you brought that up, and it just reminded me, because I keep seeing, as I'm scrolling through different streaming sites, I can't remember which one it is. It might be Tubi, has all the Pumpkinhead movies, and I'm talking like the original ones, and those were such great movies, man. And
Yeah.
Kids today would probably look at them and go, "This is dumb," but
Yeah.
they are good movies. Now I
Yeah, I
want
mean,
to go
hey,
read even more.
that was scary when we grew up, man. That was scary. And then like you see it now, and they're like, kids are like, nah, that's baby stuff. And I was like,
Yeah, right.
listen, man. I was like, that was it. So getting to, you know, work with him was like, I mean, dude, that was super cool. Same thing with Diane Franklin in Dark Room. You know, getting to work with her. I mean, like, she was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I remember watching her with John Cusack when I was a kid. And then like what was so crazy to me was like, it's one thing to say, hey, I made it, you know, to be an actor and get to, you know, work with them on a film. But what was like so crazy to me to even wrap my head around now is to think that I got to work with those people and have them not just in a film, but in like my film that like I directed. And so to me, that's kind of nuts. But like, I mean, I'm sure you feel the same way, like with the guests you have on here. You know, it's like I've known this person forever, and like never in a million years that I think I'd be like working with them or talking with them, and like here I am. You know, it's crazy to think about.
No, yeah, it's you know, like you said, you know, there's still some people on my list that I would love to get, you know, just that nostalgia feeling, just kind of bring you back, you know, and go, wow, I remember, or you know, there's bands out there that I want to get on the show that I've listened to for years, and they're still not like big mainstream bands, but people, you know, they've got a big following, but it's just like, man, that would be really cool to have them on and hang out and talk to them or something like that.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, I mean, even people that are like mainstream, and even people that aren't so much like you're probably talking to that person that's going to end up being mainstream eventually. And like, so it's so cool. Like when you look back and like, hey, I knew him like way back when.
I remember when.
Yeah, I remember when. I remember talking to Jake when he was like still halfway sane.
It's
So
like
that's what you,
when he was doing movie sets in his garage.
yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. That was so nuts. I've worked like we've done sets, but building that in a garage. Like, did you notice any of that? Like in the trailer,
No,
like
no,
80% of that was in the garage, bro.
yeah, you can't. I would have never guessed, but now because obviously, once the movie comes out, I want to watch it before we do the watch party, like we did with Daylight to Dark. But
I'm,
now
I'm gonna
I'm gonna be
I'm
sitting
gonna
there.
say this, man. I'm gonna say this. I might be stepping out a little premature, but I guarantee you're still gonna have a hard time guessing which parts are in the garage.
Yeah, I might. I just might.
And
I'm gonna sit there and
and
nitpick. I'm gonna watch it on
yeah,
super slow motion.
yeah. Trust me. That's me. But like I can't take credit for that. I got to give that to like the guys running the cameras because like they somehow made that shit work. Like I don't know how, but it just kind of all just came together. So I was like, you know what? Some things are just meant to work, bro. So
Jake, I was watching Soul's Chapel and I noticed something in the back of the church. There was a DeWalt kit. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they have DeWalt's.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure there was no DeWalt. Yeah, that's great. And honestly, it would have probably been because like we were just building that set like just a few hours right before we started shooting this. So
Yeah, right.
we built the whole thing in 15 hours, and I was like, "What?"
No, exactly. No, I think it's going to be, just from the trailer and talking to you, it's going to be one of those movies that, even Daylight to Dark. The first time I watched it, there was a lot of things that I missed because it was a good movie. It was a very good movie, and it kind of took me back to that old school campy '90s. Just
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is so goofy.
yeah,
But and then as I watched, I start to notice things like we brought up the wig and
yeah, yeah,
that you start to notice and go, okay, that's a bit much, but
yeah, yeah.
it made
Listen,
it made that character or that scene really good.
did you recognize any familiar faces in that?
Not right off the bat, but usually it'll like when I'm watching the movie.
The guy that's talking to me when the trailer first comes on, the guy that's talking to me, would you believe me if I told you that was Renfield from Daylight to Dark?
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
It doesn't look
Guy is a chameleon, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like that guy is like a crazy good actor. Like I've seen
Well,
him in stuff.
Yeah, you see him in real life, and then
Yeah.
you see the get up that you guys had him in Daylight to Dark, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, you're just like, who is this? Like, yeah, like in Dark Room. Did you know he played a priest in Dark Room?
Huh? So he's
Yeah.
just giving everything.
Yeah, yeah, like, because I got a handful of actors that I always like. They'll either play a cameo, they'll have a scene. Some of them play leads, but I got a handful that I always try to like. I'm kind of like Hitchcock when it comes to that, and I place actors and like little things in the scene
Nice.
sometimes. Just it's kind of fun, and it's kind of like a nice little nod to those things.
Mhm.
But he was one of the priests. I actually I held the gun on him, and then like people are like, "Wait, that was Renfield?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." They're like, but like I swear you're never looking at his face because his performance is so good, and then the hair, the wig. I mean,
Yeah,
like you're not paying attention to the details, and then when you see him in like a different role, you're like, "No way!" I'm like, "Yeah, bro."
Yeah,
100%.
like I said, the second watch through that Renfield, that character itself, just he doesn't mean to, but he's a seed stealer. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, he is 100%.
so it was just like, but no, I mean, Colin Farrell did it in that Batman movie with the sparkly vampire, the newest Batman movie. He played the Penguin, and it was like,
Yeah.
I can rewatch that a couple times and go, there's no way that's Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, man. Like where did he go? Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's crazy to think that you can do so much costume and set design that you don't even recognize those people. And you know what I've noticed kind of like in most of my films, like absent Dark Room, I kind of look the same in all mine. So I don't know if that's a compliment or if that's like I've got one type cast that I can do. Like, because this one I still got the hair and the hat and the beard, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to get gypped, and it's like I'm gonna have to like start taking a different role here.
And you're the boss, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like somehow I always end up in that same role, and
You
it's like it's not
typecasted
even what I'm
yourself.
trying to do. It's like somehow I end up there. Like I'll tell you something funny. I'm working on a new project now, and we're gonna actually begin filming about the time that Soul's Chapel comes out. And when I was talking to one of the writers on it, the first thing he said to me, he said, what are we doing with this? I said, I'd like to, not only direct it, but I'd like to act in it too if I could. I was like, it's just what I do. I enjoy doing it. And he's like, okay, one condition. I said, what? He goes, you cannot wear a cowboy hat.
Nobody will recognize you. There you go. You
Yeah.
got it. Nobody will recognize
Yeah,
you.
he
Like,
said you
"That's crap,
cannot
dude."
wear a cowboy hat, and then I was like, okay, or a poncho. He said. I was like, okay. I won't. So
Yeah,
that one, I'm just a regular dude in that.
yeah,
So
exactly. Now nobody will recognize you, and they'll go, "Wait,
nobody will know who I am. Like, who's that guy? Like, he directed the movie.
yeah."
Hey, so funny story. That actually reminds me of something. I'm going to tell you this. Years ago, I done this movie called Boone, and I played Daniel Boone. It was like a modern day version of like Daniel Boone as a conservation officer. It's based on the real life explorer from Kentucky, and we done the movie, and it came out it came out a few years after it was filmed, and so I'm standing in the theater, and of course, in this movie, I've got my beard grown out. My hair is like super long and grown out in the front, and I just look totally different. And I hadn't been cleaned up too much longer. Yeah, somebody just put Voon the Vengeance Trail. I had to look it up. Oh, be careful watching that. It's a really old flick. Like it came out after like a few years after it was made. But I I was in the theater and the trailer for it was playing, and there's this guy in front of me, and it was funny because I was actually going to watch another movie, and one of mine just happened to be playing in the same local theater, because we do like a handful of little theatrical releases, and it was playing in the lobby. So I'm standing there, I'm waiting to get my popcorn. That guy's watching it, and I hear him say somebody. So that looks pretty cool up there on the screen. I was like, I turned around, I said, people tell me I look just like that guy. And it was my face, and he goes, really? I don't see it. Yeah. I was like, I've been told that. And he's like, nah. He's like, I don't see it. I was like, maybe you're right. But I swear that was like the greatest thing ever. And I told my wife about it. She said, did he really? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, I guess you do look kind of different. I was like, yeah, but not that much different. I was like, people tell me I look just like that guy. And he's like, I don't see it, man.
I don't know, buddy.
Yeah, he was like, really? He's like, I don't see it. He said, I was like,
Oh, yeah, like you're some kind of actor. Okay, buddy.
yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm just standing in line waiting to get my popcorn. I was like, okay. I was like, whatever.
Fine.
Yeah.
He's just completely dejected the rest of the night.
Yeah. He's like that guy over there.
He's telling all his buddies, look at that guy. He thinks he looks like that actor.
Yeah, sitting to me next in the theater. He looks nothing like that guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, Soul's Chapel. Do you guys, or are you allowed to talk about it? Do you guys have like where it'll be released at, or where?
Yeah. So it's going to be released. We're doing a streaming release. So April 4th. It's going to be available on Prime. It's going to be available on like most TVOD streams. I think the following month in May, it goes to like Tubi and all subscription-based streaming, any type of other subscription-based streaming. And even I know now YouTube is doing, they're doing ad-supported streaming on certain films and stuff now. where you can actually watch movies for free on YouTube, and it's still, I think you got to go through like a couple of ads, but they're for free, so it'll probably be on there too. There will be a physical release at all major retailers like Amazon, Walmart, anything you can. If you can't find it in your local store, you can go to like Walmart.com or Amazon or something, on one of those platforms and get it. But yeah, it's going to be released basically worldwide. I don't think this one's going to have a theatrical run. And mostly, that's just because of, the theatrical runs are slowly starting to kind of decline, unfortunately, which is kind of sad because, that's a lot of the magic and where it happened. But honestly, it's actually really difficult to make sure you get your film played theatrically. It's not as difficult as it should be, but jumping through the hoops that you have to with people, and it's nothing to do with like the process. It's just people. It's really aggravating. So yeah, sometimes it's just easier to do streaming. You can sit in
Yeah.
your house and click a button and be like, oh hey, there's that guy that doesn't look like Jake.
I watched this movie and this guy looked a lot like you, but I don't think it was you, buddy.
Yeah, it's like yeah. So yeah, I get that a lot.
No, it's every time I go into a Walmart, I'm still looking for Daylight to Dark just so I can have a physical copy of it.
Amazon.
Amazon has them now?
Yeah, Amazon's got physical copies now. Yeah,
Mm.
so yeah, they're on Amazon. I think actually you know what? You could probably go on Walmart's website and have it ordered in. Actually, it might. I think it's on Walmart.
I'll have to look on the websites.
Yeah, look on the Walmart website and see if they can order it in, because sometimes like the retailers, they'll carry certain limited stock of what
Mhm.
they keep there, but they'll have it like at their warehouse or something, and they'll just
Yeah,
like ship it to you.
nice. Yeah, definitely. I just want to get a physical copy just to have it, just because.
Yeah, hey man, you should. Yeah, maybe if I can find a copy, I'll send you one. I don't. Isn't that weird? I don't keep copies of my own films. Like, I don't even keep them anywhere. It's like if I can find a copy, like what are the odds of that? It's
You,
like
you know
I
what?
don't
You know,
even
you know,
watch
you
my
don't
own
want one of them
shit.
random friends coming over going, "Ooh, we should watch this movie." Yeah, no, let's not.
Yeah, no, not that one. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, dude, like it's actually really funny because like sometimes I'll actually be scrolling through like certain channels and I'll see like my films or something, and I'll say something I'm like, "Hey, it's trending," and then somebody will be like, "You want to watch it?" I'm like, "No." I'm
No.
like, go to the next thing. No. And I'm like, "Hey, it's trending," and or I'll see it and I won't say anything about it, or like my wife and I will be like watching Tubi occasionally and we'll see it on there, and she's like, "Is that yours?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But we're
Yeah,
not
it
watching
depends.
it."
It depends.
Yeah, and honestly though, where she helps me on some of these, she don't watch them either. And what? I don't think she likes my movies. Like come to think of it, it's like I don't think she likes my movies. Come to think of it,
Yeah,
but you know what? It's okay.
she likes you. She might not like your movies, but she likes you. But
I
some
don't.
some
I
days.
don't know if she does that either. I'm like, I'm trying to catch the appeal here.
Maybe she's just a glutton for punishment. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe I just enjoy it. Maybe I'm like, yeah.
She's upstairs right now, guys. He's down in the basement talking to himself again. What is he doing? I'm
Yeah,
on a podcast,
100%.
man.
100%. I'm on a podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Sure.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your podcast.
She's like, are you down there practicing your lines again or something? Like, no. But no, honestly, listen, it is really cool. Like when you go to a convention or something and people have seen your films and they're like actually excited to like, talk to you about that. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. But then like I said, it's kind of funny because then you come home and like, the people that are closest to you, they're just like, so
It's
like,
like, man, I've just been gone for 3 weeks and people love me. And I come home.
yeah, 100%. And then like you'll have people that like your family members are like, I've never even seen your stuff. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you talking about?
It's like, I don't want to watch it, but you watch it. It's like, oh, what are you talking about? I've never even seen your stuff. I was like, okay.
I'd
I
like to
mean,
watch your movies, but you're no Clint.
yeah, you're no Clint. I'm like,
Yes. Yeah, right. Do you not see it? You're
what?
like a younger, better looking version.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that, but I'll take what I can get. I will take what I can get.
Well, speaking of the conventions, you had a pretty good run this spring summer, didn't you? You were at a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was actually featured at a lot of conventions this past year, which is kind of crazy because they've slowed down this year, which is weird, but there were a lot of first time conventions. But yeah, this past year, man, I was like all kinds of stuff like back to back. Like it actually got to a point to where I deliberately didn't book anything after like October because it just got to be like there were so many that I was going to. But it was really cool. I mean, I really enjoyed getting to go. Got to go to, I got to go to Florida, go to one down there, and it's pretty cool because I got to hang out with Johnny Fiore from The Sopranos. Dude's hilarious. So he was actually really cool to hang out with. I sat right next to him, and we were getting in all kinds of trouble, laughing and cutting up, and
Nice.
just the fun stuff. Vincent D'Onofrio and there's all kinds of people that were there, and it was really cool to go to that one. And then, of course, there's the big one that I do every year. I host the film festival there, and I'm part of the show. But CreepyCon this last year was really really cool. We done the first year of red carpeted film festival, and it was like, man, it was a success. It's a 3-day convention of horror stuff, a lot of celebrities. Got to hang out with Henry Thomas and DJ Qualls. Yeah, and it came up on stage and presented the awards with me. It was really cool. He was a really cool guy. But yeah, man, I got to hang out with a lot of the celebrity guests they had there, and it was it's always a lot of fun, when you're talking to them and finding out just how many like mutual contacts we have. So yeah, this year was crazy, man. It was actually crazy.
Right. Where the Creepy Con, where's that one located at?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, that's right.
It is the biggest one that is hosted in Knoxville every year. It's the biggest horror convention in Knoxville. There's another one I'll be at I think it's in Knoxville too this year. It's a little earlier. It's called FrankenCon. It's hosted at a hotel, and I'll be there this year. I'll be there as a guest. I usually go every year, but this year, I've got invited as a guest, so I'll be there this year.
Nice.
And then there's one that I go to where I was a guest this last year, and we actually watched Daylight to Dark there. But it's this horror movie themed. It's a horror themed Western town.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's called Camp Dreadwood.
Okay.
So you got people that can actually stay in a cabin, or you can actually camp out there, and they do like shootouts, and it's all like zombie themed, and like it's a horror convention in an old west town. So man, I mean, you talk about really freaking cool, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Of course, I wore the hat and the poncho, and it was a lot of fun. I got to hang. I was sitting next to Sonia Thompson from The Walking Dead. I mean, it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, this last spring it was pretty crazy, man. It's like I'm still like in a fever dream recovering.
Yeah, I was gonna say you see the social media, and you were definitely a busy guy. I had to write down that Camp Dreadwood because as you're talking about it once again, my girlfriend goes, "No."
Listen, hey, if you get a chance to go to that one, it's pretty sick. It's a lot of fun. It's usually it's like a 2-day convention, but they got cabins and stuff there, and then you can hang out. And the last couple years, they actually had a thing for like kids too, where you could actually like Nerf gun shoot zombies and stuff.
Nice.
Like live guys dressed like zombies. It was so cool. They do like live shootouts and stuff with like blanks, and it's a lot of fun, dude.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I love those. I guess you could call it interactive.
Interactive ones, yeah.
I've done a couple. When I used to live down in Charleston, there was a place every year for Halloween. They would do the zombie hayride, and you basically were given paintball guns, and they got you out in the middle of the woods, and oh no, the tractor is broken down. What was that noise? And then they had all these paid actors that were dressed as all zombied up, and they had all the, and you just got to unleash hell on these poor bastards with paintball guns and stuff like that.
Oh man,
You know,
I hope they were wearing gear because man, that's
I do too, because I know the couple people that I went with and myself personally, we were definitely lighting them up.
yeah. It was like, da, 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 da. Like those screams weren't fake, man.
Yeah, I just can't believe that somebody is like. I mean, I guess it'd be fun to dress up as a zombie, and as long as you got proper gear on. But I've been paintballing before, and even with the gear on, it still stings a little bit.
It hurts, man. It hurts 100%. That
What
stuff
do you
ain't
do
no
for a
joke.
job? Well, I dress up as a zombie and get shot with paintballs every night.
Hey, man, and that's like what people ask me. What do you do? It's like I dress like a cowboy and pretend to be scary.
I kill
Yeah.
vampires.
I dress up like a cowboy and kill vampires. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah,
Sweet,
yeah, definitely. Man, yeah. I definitely. Huh?
sweet innocent Lilith, R.I.P.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's definitely at some point in the future, I'm sure there will be a sequel to Daylight to Dark because it's actually been discussed in the past, but it's gotta be one of those things that I gotta get with Rollin on that, man, for sure. Gotta
I
get
got
back with the master.
Yeah, I'll hit him up and get him back on the show again and be like, I was talking to Jake.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta make that happen.
Look, Roland, I have to seek vengeance. All right.
Yeah, he's got to come back, man.
Yeah. No. You mentioned a little bit, and again, I know it's a newer project, and don't know how much you can go into about it, but just from the cast that you've dropped on social media and whatnot, and stuff that the cast members have done so far. You've definitely got my antennas up, so to say. I'm curious about this new project, and again, whatever you can say about it, feel free to. If you can't talk about it, then tell me to mind my business.
Okay, so you're talking about Heart Frozen.
Yeah.
Heart Frozen. So this film, man, the only way I can describe this that I can talk about is Stranger Things meets The Shining.
All right, I was definitely a fan of The Shining. Stranger Things was hard to follow and get into, but
So you're going to be leaning more towards the same kind of vibes in The Shining, more towards the characters in Stranger Things.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so that is kind of the gist I can say. I can tell you this because it's on IMDb, so I can say this. It's when a psychology professor moves to a small town. She finds out that her predecessor has left behind a dark secret. The lady that was there before her, and so it follows this lead female professor and her family and the things that are kind of going on behind the scenes of their new home. It's kind of a little horror thriller. This one's way out of anything that I've ever done before. So this one's like I'm broadening horizons with this one.
Nice.
Yeah. So this one's definitely going to be a little different. And so I know in the next couple of days we're actually doing a little crowd thing where we're gonna, like I was telling you how we done for Daylight to Dark, where if people want to, be involved or get their name or their face or something on there, we're gonna do that. And like you just basically go on there and you buy whatever we're offering, and anything that we get, kind of goes back into helping us make the flick, and kind of goes towards these actors and stuff. Because it's a full-time thing and it can get expensive, especially the way that we do it. But Yeah, man, we're going to be offering some cool stuff, and it's kind of a cool way for people to get involved and be in one of these flicks and be a part of it. I don't say just be involved or like
Yeah.
this is something you can be like a part of and like be watching it and like I said, we're gonna go back. We're gonna have like the featured like face and the jars and like certain little things and like we're gonna put up a whole list of stuff that you can go on there and get even up to like even if you just want to get an early digital copy of the film for like 20 or 30 bucks or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely we offer out a lot of different things, but yeah, we're gonna be launching that in the next few days, and there's gonna be more to come as the film progresses. But if you're a fan of The Shining and a fan of like mystery thrillers and things that are kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. I think you're really going to enjoy this one.
Nice. Oh yeah. Um, shit. I lost my train of thought. Old age.
It's
It'll come
okay.
back. It'll come
It's
back
okay.
to
It's okay.
yeah, Jersey ask, how do you remember your lines?
I don't. I just make this up as I go. What are you talking about?
What you don't see in the movies, he's got a little earbud in his ear and he
Okay,
pays
so
some guy
listen.
to
I'm going to admit this to the whole world, and I'm not very proud of this. Okay, so confession time. Good job, Glick. Thank you. This is where I leave.
the home of all the exclusives right here.
Yeah. So a lot of times in movies, we want you to remember your lines 100%. If you can remember it, get it down, practice it. But there comes certain times, for instance, if someone's doing multiple jobs, like an actor or a director, and I'm very guilty of this, but I try not to do it, but I do it. Sometimes you can be in the middle of a scene, like I'm talking to somebody right here, and the way that they splice scenes, I could be talking to you and I could be in a real depth and real detail, and then somebody will say my lines aloud, and then I simply repeat them in a very acting and smoldering way. And then we cut those together and then it looks like we're talking to each other. So that's a little movie hack for you that we do
Yeah.
sometimes in film. There's a lot of cheats, like you guys see movies, and there's a lot of things that go into it, and there's a lot of like cheats, like you might not realize it, but like most of the time we're looking at, like you see one thing, we're looking at like lights here and cameras here and people all in front of us, and like it's not what you see when you're watching a movie. So how do I remember my lines? I don't. But no, I do try to remember my lines, and I do try to get them as close as I can. But sometimes, yeah, there are those little things that you got to end up doing to keep your memory fresh or to make sure you're getting that perfect line. Because sometimes in a movie, lines are very important. I mean, there's some things that are, I mean, we wouldn't write it in there and we wouldn't print it if we didn't want you to say that, or, and there's sometimes you can ad lib or go off script a little bit, but sometimes there are very important specifics. So we do have to do that method where somebody repeats the line and then, they're just hearing it from somebody else and while they're still acting. And that's how we splice those and cut them together.
Nice. Well, I mean, that goes back. I mean, just think of through all the years being movie fans, all the one-liners and quotes that from movies that we still use. It's like you said,
Yeah.
some of those lines are very important, and you want them in there. They might become that one memorable line that you never forget and randomly throw out there and quote for no apparent reason, other than the fact that it just popped into your head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and sometimes those are just when you forget your lines. You just say things that pop in your mind, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they stick. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you gotta okay, we can't do that, but it's like I've had. I'll tell you a funny one. I was once working on this movie, and it was a zombie flick, and I was directing. Of course, I wasn't in this film. This is like one of the rare cases where I stepped behind the camera for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we had a guy, and he's holding a gun. And he was supposed to say, "Are you one of those moonwalkers or whatever the zombies were called or something?" He said, "Are you one of those moonwalkers?" And of course, mind you, that in this film, there's not really a lot of filtering going on in between takes, of
Mhm.
what people say. So this is a good example of that. One time, he's supposed to say, "Are you one of those moonwalkers, or are you one of those zombies?" He says, "Are you one of those motherfuckers?" He said. I was like, "Okay, we can't say that. Cut, 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 cut." I swear. And so yeah, that's a good example of sometimes you can say things and sometimes you can't because it don't work.
Yeah, that could have been a great line, you
Yeah,
know.
I was like I just died. Like I couldn't even keep a straight face. I was like, cut, cut,
Yeah.
cut. He goes, "Are you one of those motherfuckers?" He said. And I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "This isn't even real." I was like,
Yeah, what is happening right now?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where I was at with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good little hack, for if you're ever curious about the way that movies go. Sometimes we go off script, sometimes we don't, and sometimes we got to have somebody to repeat our lines. And
Yeah.
very occasionally, if you're really bad off and you can't get a script supervisor, what they used to do was, they would hold the cue cards.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so you would read them, but like if you look in older movies, like especially in like the 70s and 80s, you'll see it, but they'll be like, "Yeah, and I don't believe you," and like you can see their eyes moving, like when they're reading it, it's like, "What are you doing?" And it's
Yeah.
yeah, so
So maybe
yeah,
some of those older actors, like, aren't as crazy. Maybe Nick Nolte and Gary Busey aren't as crazy as we think they are. They're just reading cue cards from back in the day.
yeah, maybe that's like all they remember. I'm thinking like Gary Busey's still stuck like in his mind, like that movie Eye of the Tiger. Did you ever watch that? Yeah, he was like.
Yeah, way
He
back
was like, "I
when.
was in the army, and then I was in prison, and now I'm killing everybody." I'm like, "What the hell? This guy's had a terrible life. I just think I got like years of trauma. Like, what the hell is this?" Like, no wonder he's wanting to kill everybody. Like, he was in army and then into prison. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like, that was just the thing back then. Like in the 80s, if you weren't like a class B convicted felon, like you were a nobody.
you were nobody.
You were nobody. Like, yeah, if you weren't pumping roids or a class B convicted felon, you were nobody.
Yeah,
You didn't do no time in the pen. Get out of here, you wimp. It was-
you'll never make it in Hollywood.
yeah, yeah. So like every one of your action stars, in one point they were incarcerated for like their actions, and it's like I think we're giving a bad message here, guys.
Nice. So, that's what I was gonna ask you. The Heart Frozen. How
Yeah.
many? How much of your house will you be using for that movie?
Actually, none. So surprisingly, this is going to be filmed all on location at a historic mansion. So this
Ooh.
one's yeah. This one's gonna be pretty good. Unless like some crazy shit happens and we lose access to it, then we'll be back in my garage. But for the most part, this is all going to be filmed at a historic mansion. So I'm actually really looking forward to this, and of course, I get to direct it, and so stepping outside my comfort zone, not only as an actor but as a director as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
so for all you ladies out there, this film is it's female led. Like it's a female antagonist, female protagonist, and it's a female led film. So for this is kind of I feel like there's not a lot of action thrillers out there for ladies. There's more for guys and stuff. Because we're just seen as like stuff like that. But we never really look at the for ladies whenever it comes to like things that get their interest in like thrillers and stuff. So I think this will be a film that like everybody can enjoy, but that's a good perk for ladies that want to see more women in film and stuff too. Like I said, kind of different for me, but definitely it's good. It's a good story, so I think you guys are going to enjoy that one too.
oh, yeah. We'll add that to the list of something else I'm excited for.
Yeah, something else. He's like, "Hey, I know that guy. He killed a vampire."
He killed my favorite vampire, that some bitch.
Yeah,
He sucks.
he sucks. He don't even look the same.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like that guy. It's not even really him.
Yeah, that other guy has a cowboy hat in every movie.
I hear he doesn't even do his own stunts because he's old.
He aches.
No, no, man. Daylight to Dark. Obviously, it's everywhere. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's a fun movie. It's a good watch. Obviously, very much excited for Souls Chapel. Man, this is since the first time I talked to you, this is one that I've been really excited for, with the premise and everything behind it. And now I guess the fact that now I have to go to the actual place.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like you need to, like, if you haven't ever got the chance to check this out, you're only going to be taken away from something you could really be enjoying, because
Yeah.
it's crazy, the lore behind it. Like, and you know, that's another thing for all of you guys that are like at home listening right now. Like, go to YouTube and or just click on just basic Google and check it out, because there's like hundreds of videos and stuff on
Mhm.
there, different lore and news articles. And I'd even talked to I talked to the Foreman brothers about coming down and doing a thing on Souls Chapel. I mean, and they're like some of the biggest paranormal show followers in the world. So I mean,
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of lore behind it. So yeah, you guys should definitely, if you don't watch the film for the film's purpose, go read up on it and just watch a YouTube video, because it's crazy.
Do you you got to put one of those things at the beginning based on real events or
Yeah. So
All right.
we actually in the film, there's actually a few little cards that pop up on the screen talking about it. So yeah, you guys
Nice.
will. I think anybody that knows about the lore, you'll be able to check it out a little bit. Oh, excuse me, I'm just like totally. It's like I just like I don't know what happened,
No,
but
you're good.
I was like, what happened? It's
Oh
like
God, where am I?
yeah. He's like, he's old. He's old. Get out.
Oh.
Get out. Get out, old guy.
No,
But nah,
and I love those places like that.
yeah, yeah,
the
absolutely, man.
Helltown, Souls Chapel, stuff like that, and it's cool because they're real places that you can go visit.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing, because like I said, sometimes truth is a little stranger than fiction. And you read up on this stuff and you're just like, that really happened, and you're like, that sounds like a movie. It's like, yeah, because it's real. And so
Yeah,
I loosely based this whole story off of that. And I think anybody that reads up on it before you watch the film, you'll be kind of able to kind of see a few of those things.
yeah. Uh, before we get out of here, man, feel free to, you know the drill. Throw out them socials, promote whatever you want to promote. Are you going to be at CreepyCon this year?
Hell yeah, always, man, always.
Right.
I'm gonna be at CreepyCon this year. I'm gonna be hosting the film festival. So if you know anybody, like anybody that's listening to, if you guys, if you've ever done a film, you've been in a short film, or you got anything that, or you know anybody that wants to enter in their film into this, please send them, because I try to make sure that everybody gets a screening, and make sure that we at least try to show your film if we can. And they go up for awards, and usually we have one of the celebrity guests present you your award, and that's pretty cool. So if you get a chance to do that, you're gonna have a lot of people. We have a big red carpet every year, and of course I'll be there hanging out and taking photos and stuff. And I like to get involved. I'm very interactive with the film festival. So if you guys are just ever in the mood to submit something you got, definitely check out CreepyCon's website. There's instructions on there on how to submit. As far as my socials go, I think Glick's got it linked here, my link tree. So you can find everything I got on my link tree, if you go on there. But you can find me at Jake C. Young _official. Or you can, Google me, look up my name, Jake C. Young, or, if you want to do an alternative search, you can type in Jake Eastwood, I'll come up. But yeah, the same on Facebook, Insta, socials. I do have a TikTok. I don't really use it that much. I'm still
Sounds
kind
like
of new to that.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to work it. Like, a full disclosure to anyone who's seen it. Like, I put a few videos on there, but it's mostly because I've probably had help from somebody to try to do that. So if
Somebody.
you want to go old school, Facebook it. You can follow me on Facebook or on Insta, and I'm usually pretty active on this.
Yeah. Big time actor director doesn't know how to use TikTok.
Dude, listen, I do good to learn how to work my cameras. Okay, like I'm just there.
I
Like,
feel yeah.
I told them, I said, for this next one, I said, you guys are on your own. I'm just going to be over here, like, running the clapboard. I
Yeah.
said, I know how to do that. Like, I can snap. I can do that. I was like, but
I,
you guys are on your own.
Yep, I feel you on that. I still got a notebook and a pen over here. I write down all my notes.
Yeah.
Notes during the
Yeah, I
show.
get that all the time. Like, why don't you just put that on your phone? They're like, it's a smartphone. You write notes on. I was like, yeah, but I have a paper. I was
Yeah,
like,
paper and pen. You know,
yeah.
I just a few months ago. I think 4 or 5 months ago, I realized, oh, I can use my calendar on my phone and put my guest in there. That way, I don't get confused and double book myself.
Yeah, listen, I've been having cast meetings like for the last several nights, like over and over, and I've had to put them on the calendar, and like I was trying to like write it down. I was like looking, I was like, what the hell are all these sticky notes? And then I was like, oh, that's what that is. And then my phone, I was like, oh, it could just tell me whenever it's time. But you know what?
Mhm.
We like to make it harder on ourselves, so don't feel too bad, Glick. I'm with you, man.
Yeah, pretty much.
We
Well,
will unite. We will unite. The dinosaurs will unite.
we will stick
Dinosaurs
to our
versus
old ways.
vampires. That's the
Yeah,
next one. Dinosaurs versus vampires.
Dinosaur vampires. Hey, there you go.
Dude, yeah. Hey, if they can make Sharknado, we can make vampires. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
we can do whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. The kids in my house would love that because it's all about dinosaurs, and then like if I had dinosaurs and vampires, they'd be like,
Ah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's awesome. Like, but if you think about it, dinosaur is kind of a vampire. I mean, it's going to eat you if it gets a hold of you. So
Yeah, some of them are.
just saying.
No, that's awesome, man. Dude, I really do appreciate you coming up and hanging out. It's always a
Bro,
good time.
thanks for having me, man. It's always good. Thank you so much for having me. I love your show, and I love any chance I get to come on here, man.
Yeah, we will definitely talk. And once the new movie's out, Soul Chapel, we will absolutely schedule a time to do a watch party.
Yeah. Everybody, come watch this with me, and I'll see. Maybe I can get some of the cast or something like we done before.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That was crazy. That was so crazy, man. If you guys haven't seen that, you should go and watch that. That was
Definitely go back and watch the watch party. We had a lot of fun. The cast was awesome. The cast members that we had was awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a character in this new movie that I'm going to really like, and you're just going to murder them for no reason?
Oh, like Jack Torrance? Nah. I don't think so. I don't think there's. Honestly, like I said, this one's a new venture for me. I'm actually kind of a side quest in this one. I'm not really playing a big role. But however, in Soul's Chapel, I think you'll enjoy that character. That character it's going to be ranking with the Daylight to Dark stuff. I think you'll really enjoy that. So.
Let me guess, a cowboy?
Whoa! He wears a cowboy hat. I can't say too much about that one either, man. I want to get attacked. Like NDA, stop it. Stop it.
Right.
Under more copyright laws than you can shake a stick at right now.
Yeah.
So.
Damn it, Glick, stop it.
Yeah, damn it, Glick. You're causing me to get whooped over here, man.
No, dude, I'm looking forward to the new movie. I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys watching and those that watch the replay and listen on all the platforms where you guys listen, will go check out Jake. Do like I did when I first met Jake and just dive into his catalog. It's a fun watch.
Hey, and listen to everyone who can stomach to sit there and watch my mug for a little bit. Listen, guys, I appreciate each and every person who takes the time to watch my stuff because it's really good to have support and fellow artists and just people that want to watch it. That's why I make these things and that's why Glick does this podcast. Is not only do we enjoy it, but we want to make sure you guys enjoy it. So definitely, if you get a chance. Like please just check them out and let me know what you think. I just leave a comment on the streaming sites or anything, or like give us a good Amazon review. Like if you're gonna leave a bad one, just make it anonymous. So but no, seriously, I really appreciate it, and I appreciate being able to come on here.
No, absolutely. Anytime, the door is always open. Anything we can do here, to help support and promote stuff, send it my way. Tag me in something. Say, hey, hey, pay attention.
Hey, you've got to come back and be a vampire. We're gonna duke it out.
Yeah, we got
It's happening. Like everybody, like it's happening. Like it's floating in ether. Like just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't happen. And when this next one happens, like it's gonna be Jonah Helsing and Deadpool fighting vampires or something.
We're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna reach out to Roland because I know he's been busy too lately, and I'd love to have him back on.
Yeah.
He was such a good guest, and him and I, right off the rip, we connected. I got to reach out to him and get him back up here, and we'll put that bug in his ear too. Like I know you're not busy or anything. You're not doing anything. You think you could write the sequel to this for us?
Yeah. Hey, if he starts now, we might be ready by next year.
Right around April,
It's just like it's just one thing after another. Like, might as well, right? What the hell?
Hey, you got to stay busy, man.
That's right, man. Do what you love.
Yeah, brother, much love to you, man. I appreciate the hell out of you. I can't wait for the new movie, like I said, and I sure as hell can't wait to do the watch party and hang out with you again.
Absolutely, man.
Definitely appreciate you coming up and hanging out with me again. You got anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, man. I just want to say thank you so much for having me on, and to everybody who supports Glick, please keep watching everything he does because he has a hell of a show. It's killer, and he's a really great guy. So, man, thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah, the jar's gonna have to get bigger and bigger. Suck it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, man.
All right, bro. Have a great night, man. Best of luck to you, and hopefully, we'll be seeing you real soon. And I've been getting a lot of looks, so we might be down at CreepyCon this year. So,
yeah, swing by. Swing by, and come say, hey, man. We're gonna be having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I look forward to it. I've always wanted to go to a con, and especially like one of the horror related ones. And
it's if you've never been, it's well worth the go. If you've never got to go to a horror con, because they're all different, but if you've never been to one, it's worth the go. And go to a big one because the more cosplay and stuff, the more energetic it is. It's a lot of fun.
Nice. I'll make sure to buy me a wig, a cowboy hat, and a poncho.
Yeah, dude, that would be killer. That'd be classic. Like I would be taking pictures with you. Like I'm gonna be paying to take photos with Glick. Like forget. Like sorry to the con managers. Like I'm breaking the rule. I'm taking a picture with him. Like I'm paying to take this photo with him.
Some guy in the background goes, that guy right there really looks like the actor that was in the movie. You, not so much.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly it.
Awesome. No, bro. I again, greatly appreciated it. I will catch you next time. We'll stay in touch. We'll get that watch party lined up, and maybe we'll just have you on just to hang out again.
Yeah, man. It's always fun. Always a fun time.
I appreciate it, man. Have a great night, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
Later.
For the soul. Good friends, good music, good whiskey, hey, good for the soul. Bob and Jay was beautiful. It was time to take them to school. The last old woman was dancing around. I looked over and then he yelled, hell yeah, it's good for the soul. A good friend, good music, good whiskey, hey, it's good for the soul. for the soul.